Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 2 cast. Which couples are still together? The 90 Day, The Last Resort cast has revealed their relationship status a year after filming Season 2, confirming which couples are still together. Agreeing to attend the resort is a final attempt by popular 90 Day Fiancé couples from the universe to save their relationships. These 90 Day Fiancé couples give their relationships one last chance at the retreat, where therapists join them to help them repair what's broken. However, not all 90 Day Fiancé couples get a happy ending on the spin-off. From among the ones featured in The Last Resort Season 1, only Jovi Dufresne and Yara Zaya are together. In Season 2, 6 couples went to a scenic resort in Arizona. Not all the couples made it to the recommitment ceremony. Still, the tell-all revealed some shocking updates from Brandon and Julia Gibbs, Ariella Weinberg and Biniam Schreiber, Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda, Rob Warren and Sophie Sierra, Stacy Silva and Florian Sukaj, and Natalie Mordov-Siva and Josh Weinstein. When they came to the resort, Gino and Jasmine were not in a good place. It is rumored they had already split and were living separately. Jasmine had been accused of having an affair with Matt since November 2023, while the show was filmed in March 2024. However, Gino and Jasmine wanted to save their marriage anyhow. It meant that Jasmine needed to introduce her new boyfriend and ask Gino if they could have an open marriage involving him. Gino laid down some ground rules, which fell on deaf ears. We have to have in the rules that if you and Matt grow too much of a friendship, or it's affecting our marriage, then I want to be able to avoid the contract. As revealed in the tell-all, Jasmine and Gino were no longer together. They separated after filming the show, and Jasmine became pregnant with Matt's baby. Jasmine hasn't defined her relationship with Matt, calling him her friend and baby daddy on occasions on social media. However, the couple appears to be living together in Florida as Jasmine awaits the baby's arrival. Meanwhile, Gino unsuccessfully dated a woman named Kelly Wagner, who dumped him when some leaked texts showed Gino allegedly flirting with other women and making vile comments about Kelly's appearance. Lately, he's been spending time with his ex, Lindsay Ryder. Like Jasmine and Gino, Rob and Sophie were also not together when they decided to seek couples therapy. It had been almost a year since Sophie had walked out of Rob's apartment and moved into her friend Kay's house in Texas. Sophie didn't feel like continuing the marriage due to Rob's online cheating episodes. Sophie called it quits with Rob at the recommitment ceremony and said he was not her dream man. She wrote a letter to her younger self and admitted she was only happy with Rob for a few years. "We're just not good together, but I still want you in my life." A hurt Rob refused to read his vows and declared he didn't see the point when he wanted to recommit, and she hadn't. At the tell-all, the couple confessed they had still been involved intimately. However, Rob is supposed to have filmed a new 90 Day House show where he was allegedly involved with Jennifer Terrazona. It's not known if they are together, but in February, Sophie sparked romance rumors of her own with Pedro Jimeno when the two cast members teased their followers by posting Instagram stories from the same locations. Brandon and Julia's relationship status remains as confusing as ever. While some moments suggested they were the happiest couple in the bunch, they also face problems that could probably lead to divorce in the long run. Therapy was a success for Brandon and Julia. They appeared to be on the same page about having kids and bringing Julia's parents to the U.S. from Russia. At the tell-all, Julia's past was brought up again, with Julia now having to explain what happened between her and her ex-boyfriend, whom she had kissed in Russia, to cheat on Brandon. Ariella and Biniam were the first couple to leave the resort when they saw their marriage was headed nowhere. Ariella and Biniam had not been living together for 4 months at the time, with Biniam admitting he was done emotionally and Ariella recognizing that her husband had no interest in fixing their marriage. They agreed to divorce, but at the tell-all, they revealed they'd yet to do it. Meanwhile, Ariella is still working with Biniam as his manager. She has been celebrating his wins on social media, such as his performance with Kendrick Lamar at the halftime show. The on-again, off-again couple, Josh and Natalie, had never been boyfriend and girlfriend for them to receive therapy to resolve their issues. Their situationship was such that Josh refused to commit to Natalie when she wanted kids and a husband. She found out Josh had been texting Sophie behind her back, making plans to fly to Vegas. While they called it quits on the 3-year relationship on the show, they revealed they were still sleeping with each other at the tell-all. However, despite the pity sex, Josh confirmed he had moved on and was dating a cast member. Stacy and Florian left the show with a promising future together when they recommitted, even though Stacy suspected Florian had cheated on her. They had been together for almost a decade when they filmed the show, and a retreat helped them only to a certain extent. As per Stacy's confession, she tried her best, but Florian lacked in his efforts. The past couple of months have not been great for the 90-day, the last resort couple. They have been spending time apart and could be heading towards a divorce. When TLC first teased 90-day, the last resort, fans knew it wouldn't be your typical couples therapy reality show. This wasn't about sweet proposals or fairy tale endings. It was about dragging some of the franchise's most chaotic couples into one tropical pressure cooker and seeing if love could survive when the last shred of patience had already burned away. The concept was as irresistible as it was messy. Bring back 5 90-day fiancé couples, each on the brink of a breakup, and send them to a luxury resort in the Florida Keys. There, they would participate in intense therapy sessions, awkward group activities, and, most importantly, unfiltered confrontations with their partners. It's part marriage counseling, part social experiment, and part soap opera with a sunset backdrop. And because this is 90-day, every scene is dripping with drama, suspicion, and the occasional tequila-fueled confession. The setting, paradise with a storm brewing. The resort itself feels like something pulled from a travel influencer's Instagram feed. Turquoise waters, swaying palm trees, private villas with glass-walled showers. On the surface, it's a honeymooner's dream. But inside those luxury suites, you could cut the tension with a butter knife. Producers are masters of contrasts. Couples sip mimosas on the beach, but their eyes betray years of trust issues and resentment. Group dinners turn from polite, small talk to passive-aggressive digs in a matter of minutes. The ocean might be calm, but the emotional waves hit like a hurricane. The cast, TLC's most explosive love stories return. Number 90-day spinoff is complete without familiar faces, and The Last Resort delivers by reuniting couples fans have been following and debating for years. There's Angela and Michael, the ultimate roller coaster couple, whose relationship has survived international visa issues, family disapproval, and Angela's temper, which could probably be registered as a hurricane category of its own. Angela arrives at the resort with a mission. Decide once and for all if Michael's loyalty is real or if she's wasting her final years chasing a fantasy. Then we have Kalani and Asulu, who look like the postcard version of paradise until you scratch beneath the surface. Kalani's resentment over Asulu's past mistakes hasn't faded, and the therapy sessions quickly dig into infidelity, parenting struggles, and the slow erosion of trust. Big Ed and Liz bring their usual on-again, off-again energy, somehow managing to break up and make up within the same episode. Ed's larger-than-life personality clashes with Liz's growing frustration at feeling unheard. By the second group dinner, they've already walked away from the table, twice. Molly and Kelly join the fray with their own baggage. Their relationship's implosion on The Last Resort becomes one of the season's most shocking storylines, revealing accusations, secrets, and a few blindsiding revelations that even longtime fans didn't see coming. And rounding out the cast are Yara and Jovi, whose dynamic swings between playful banter and tense standoffs. Yara's independence clashes with Jovi's free-spirited lifestyle, and therapy forces them to confront whether they can meet in the middle or if their marriage is built on borrowed time. The therapy, brutal honesty in paradise. The show's biggest twist isn't just that these couples are coexisting in one resort. It's that they're diving headfirst into group therapy sessions. These aren't the gentle, nod and smile kind of conversations either. The therapists dig deep, asking uncomfortable questions about intimacy, communication, and betrayal. Some couples resist. Angela storms out of one session when Michael's past behavior is brought up. Asula shuts down completely when confronted with Kalani's lingering mistrust. Big Ed tries to turn serious discussions into jokes, only to be called out for deflecting. But other moments are raw and unexpectedly moving. Liz opens up about her fears of repeating toxic relationship patterns. Yara admits to feeling lonely despite being married. Kalani breaks down while revealing how much she's sacrificed for her family. The group dynamic adds another layer. When one couple fights, the others can't help but weigh in, either to offer advice or stir the pot. Sometimes, the therapy couch feels more like a gladiator arena. The explosions, when keeping it real goes nuclear. If you came to the last resort for drama, TLC does not disappoint. The Florida sunsets might be gorgeous, but the emotional blow-ups are pure storm season. Angela and Michael's fiery arguments can be heard across the resort, with other guests sometimes peeking around palm trees just to watch the spectacle. At one point, a dinner turns into a shouting match so intense that production has to step in. Kalani drops a revelation about Asulu that sends shockwaves through the group, leading to hushed whispers at the bar later that night. Big Ed and Liz's public breakups, plural, cause enough awkward tension that even Yara jokes about moving to a different villa. But perhaps the biggest gasp-worthy moment comes when Molly and Kelly's relationship crumbles in front of everyone, leaving castmates stunned and fans flooding social media with theories. The redemption arcs, or lack thereof. Not every couple leaves the resort in flames, though many do. Some pairs genuinely use the opportunity to rebuild. Therapy helps them uncover hidden resentments, unspoken needs, and new ways to communicate. Others realize that love isn't enough to bridge the gulf between them, and part ways before the resort stay is even over. What makes the last resort compelling is that the stakes are real. These aren't first date jitters or casual flings. These are marriages, families, and years of shared history hanging in the balance. For fans, it's a rare chance to see the 90-day universe stripped of its usual distractions. There's no visa waiting game, no long-distance separation. Just two people in the same space, forced to decide whether they can move forward or need to walk away. Why fans can't look away. Part of the magic and chaos of 90 Day, The Last Resort, is that it blends the escapism of reality TV with the relatability of real relationship struggles. Sure, most of us haven't had our breakups filmed on a tropical island, but we've all faced moments when love felt like a gamble, when forgiveness seemed impossible, or when communication broke down completely. The resort acts like a pressure cooker. Without the normal distractions of everyday life, problems surface faster, tempers flare hotter, and decisions come quicker. Watching it play out feels like peeking behind the curtain of some of 90 Day Fiancé's most famous couples. And sometimes, what's behind the curtain is messier than anyone imagined.